Welcome to the fourth edition of the School Improvement Services podcast. My name is Gretchen Bruner, and I'm the Executive Director of School Improvement Services. And with me today, I have Sean Akers, Student Success Act Coordinator, and Adam Whalen, our Willamette Promise Coordinator.
I did want to mention that I wore my podcast shirt today.
And apparently, Sean has a podcast shirt. So to begin with, let's hear a bit about upcoming professional development opportunities from Sean. So what do you have for us today?
So there's probably more than this if you include the REN and maybe some special education stuff, but some of the priority professional development that we have coming down, as we're approaching the end of the year now. I just wanted to call out, we've got the SWELL, School-Wide English Learner, Community of Practice and Emerging Bilinguals Community of Practice. That's coming up on March 7th.
Okay.
I know that people appreciate my old school paper. Also school-wide, the school-wide English learners, so it's a half day in the morning, half day in the afternoon, March 7th. House Bill 2166, that's the social emotional learning standards and framework. We have our, probably it's what I would say is our first it's a full day workshop on March 15th. That's a big deal for folks because every district across the state needs to implement social emotional learning standards. The state is coming out with standards, but the WESD, as I mentioned before, we have created some in partnership with Education Northwest.
Perfect.
Okay. And so that workshop's on March 14th, and we will provide a link to our newsletter in the comments, so you can just check those out. Yeah. What's up with state updates?
Before we go into state updates, I have a couple of things. One, we are still going through our pre-local service plan meetings, and I wanted to make sure that if you haven't set those up, those are for school improvement services, the center, for facilities and operations, so school safety pieces. If you haven't had those set up with myself and Ella Taylor and Jeff Easter, please make sure that we have a chance to meet with you before we get to the all-encompassing larger meetings after spring break. Also, we are in the stage of recruiting for the Willamette Career Academy for next year. We're really excited. We have space for students. We have lots of opportunity. We're also offering some pilots for districts who are interested in joining. And so if you would like to be a part of that, please contact me, let me know. Let's get you in and get you started. This is truly life-changing work for students. They are graduating ready to go into the workforce, well prepared, ready to go.
How many programs to study?
There are 6 different programs right now. So we have cosmetology, diesel technology, health services, which the terminal degree for health services is a medical assistant. We have a manufacturing, which is really more in the robotics pieces, and construction. And then we also have construction is more skilled trades. And then we also have a computer science. Lots of coding, cybersecurity, all kinds of pieces and certifications for students to graduate and be ready to go into the workforce.
And how many students enrolled currently?
Currently, there's about 300 students enrolled, and so we do have some capacity. Yeah. We're excited.
So next year, how many will be looking for the same or more?
We'd love more. There is room, and there's some spaces in some programs. There are some programs that are a little more full, but we're really excited. It's been going really well. Students are excited. We've worked out kinks and pieces at the beginning. We're 2 years in, and so things are going really smoothly, and we're excited to offer that. Moving on to ODE, there's quite a few things that came up in this last week. First, I want to draw your attention to an update that came out on Friday regarding integrated planning. There are updated frequently asked questions. There's a heads up on a messaging that's going to come out on March 1st. And some other helpful information. Please look for it in your inbox. It came Friday, which was the 24th of February, and then we'll post the link below as well. In March, ODE is hosting a series of office hours about the federally required ESSER monitoring, easy for me to say, which starts in April. So if you have questions, you need to reach out to ODE's ESSER team with any questions on that. They have some specifics, but there is some requirements around monitoring. For assessment and accountability, there's a March report seminar on March 7th from 9 to 10 and a district testing coordinator webinar on March 8th from 10 to 11. And then beginning on March 1st, for the Future K ELPA screener. There's going to be a scoring profile added. You can find additional information on that on this month's assessment and accountability update. Those are some of the highlights. Again, link will be below. National School Social Worker Week is March 5th through 11th. It's time to honor yet another really important group in our schools. They put so much time and effort and care for our students. Please remember them March 5th through the 11th. And then finally, actually not finally, I have a couple more. ODE is offering a variety of options for overview and Q&A for supporting gender expansive students guidance. I know this has been a hot topic in a lot of districts. Please see the link below to register. The next offering is March 3rd from 10 to 11, and then there's another March offering and then an April offering as well, kind of for that overview and that question answer session for districts.
Definitely going to be important for district folks for every district to have somebody attend and listen and learn.
For sure. On April 18th, ODE is offering a webinar called Section 504 and the Professional School Counselor as Case Manager. I encourage your counselors and staff to be a part of this. It's from 3 to 4. We will put that link. There's going to be a lot of links today below as well. And on Friday, February 17th, the preliminary allocations for Title 1A, Subpart 2 came out and were shared. So if you need information on that, again, the link is below to that email. So those are my ODE updates. And now, as promised, we have Adam Whalen with us today, who's going to share with us a little bit about the career and college pathway work that he's involved in. So Go ahead, Adam.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Sean, Gretchen, appreciate the invitation. I've never done a podcast before, so this is really exciting, but it seems like an awesome way to get you all the information that you need and to know what's going on with all the services that we provide here at the Willamette ESD. So thanks for having me. Wanted to remind folks about the CTE Concentrator project that we've launched in the region, as it's going to be March soon, and we have to start thinking about graduation, and that's crazy, but we all know how the sprint to the finish line goes. So if you have your CTE leads, make sure that they're connecting with our partners from MWEC at Chemeketa, and make sure that programming is up and running at your school. We have CTE badges that students can work through on the Transio software for all the ODE approved programs of study. And just as a reminder, if students go in and earn that badge in Transio, MWEC is willing to purchase and send them their own specialized graduation cord that really calls out the program of study that they've accomplished. So it's a great way to elevate CTE.
Do they have to have multiple badges, or is it just
no? Just a single badge. So it's for CTE concentrators. So 2.0 credit hours in a CTE program of study. And MWEC will do the heavy lifting in terms of purchasing and sending the student their own specialized cord.
Awesome.
That is a really great way to showcase really the career-connected work that's happening across the region. So exciting for students.
In one program of study.
Exactly.
Great.
And then what does Transio do? How does that?
So Transio is the software that students access to actually do the tracking, the credit completion. Once a student tracks their courses in Transio, they earn the badge. An alert is sent to our CTE hub that says we have a student who's a concentrator that's on track to graduate, and let's get them a cord. So
the student has to do some of the legwork.
Yep.
Oh, for sure.
We just remind the students. Our leaders, their teachers, just remind the students.
Yeah,
that's great.
And awesome. So you should have someone in your school that's that point of contact, and just making sure that students can access, they know what to do, and if not, you can reach out to our team and get more information.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Really exciting. Last week we hosted our second annual industry connected classroom project event at the Willamette Career Academy. In that event, this is something that we started last year during COVID, because it was hard to place students on job sites, so we wanted to bring the work-based learning straight to them. And so at this event, the educators that attended were paired up with industry partners and spent about 3 hours collaboratively designing projects to get together. They designed the projects, and the partnership doesn't end there. The industry partners continue to work with the educator to implement the project, to work with the students. Many of them will come out and make classroom visits. They'll Zoom in. So it meets the ODE definition of a sustained work-based learning experience. But it can be done at your high school. Some of the partners that we had, Salem Health was there, our friends from PAPE were there, and a number of other businesses that came to work with our educators to create these projects. It's a great way to equitably bring work-based learning into your classroom. There's no barriers with transportation, with costs of things. It's just a way to really effectively engage with the industry right there in your classroom. And so
I got to attend, and the buzz was exciting. Teachers that were there were really excited about the work. They're just excited to be able to have those conversations. So
which teachers can engage in this?
So we had about 65 teachers that showed up last week. Yeah.
Wow.
On February 21st, I'm going to give a little shout out to MWEC and the South Salem Metro STEM Hub that were partners, as well as Salem Kaiser Public Schools. But even though your educators maybe weren't able to attend last week, this is a service that we provide, which goes right into my next little update really seamlessly. We've updated our website. And so, folks have always been really knowledgeable and felt good about the dual credit services that we provide. But we have really, over the last year, engaged in continuous improvement to make sure that our career-connected learning services are more accessible. So even though your teachers maybe didn't attend last week, that is a service that we provide through Control Tower. And if you go to our website, you can actually just sign up to get some support. So if there's a business that you want to work with, if there's a project that you have in mind, just go to WillamettePromise.org, click on Career Readiness, and you can click the link for Industry Connected Project Support, and our team will start to put the pieces together to support your educators.
And that's not just focused on our CTE educators, it's all educators from across the region. So that was really exciting.
Okay, so question for you, and as we discussed in the pre-recording, I do not know is not an answer that we would accept. No, but the question
it totally
I have,
can be.
We've got the integrated plans, right? So the high-level integrated plans, the ones that they're all very important, but the ones I think that might have the most global understanding would be the student investment account. High school success, right? Those are two very high funded, Measure 98, high school success. How does this work you're doing with Transio, all those things you just mentioned, how does that support high school success or the student investment account? Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I can. A lot of it, is really about partnership. With the industry connected projects, with how you're partnering with the community, who you're bringing in. A lot of these projects, aren't done in the metro area. And so a lot of the work that we do, like we will reach out to partners in your region to provide this support and to start that partnership. But there's obviously kind of the post-secondary connection too with the work-based learning. And so, it connects on a number of ways.
Well, then we've got, well-rounded education, that's called out in the student investment account. Mm-hmm. We know that students who are engaged, what would you call them, the two
CTE completers?
CTE completers, they graduate at a higher
They do.
graduation rate across all demographic groups. We know that more engagement with students increases regular attendance, right, which has, long-standing outcomes there, and interest-based projects or interest-based classes are more widely attended. So I just think there's a strong connection there with all the work you're doing. MWEC as a partner for us at the WESD. I mean, obviously, they are our consortium and they support high school success. And so that dual enrollment, that secondary pathway, huge. Huge.
Really exciting. Thank you for being with us today and
thanks
sharing.
For having me.
Yeah, thanks for your work, man.
Excited. And all of this leads back into the work that we're doing with the Willamette Career Academy as well. All these students are supported in that way. And, as we said, CTE completers graduate across Oregon at 90% or sometimes higher in districts. And we're at 97% for the Willamette Career Academy. So it's exciting work. Yeah. It's really focusing on students being ready for that next step. And so, whether it be career, whether it be college, whatever it is, it's just that next little push. So thank you all for joining us today. That's what we have. We're excited to prep and be ready for our next.
Yeah.
Number 5 will be in a couple of weeks. If you have any questions or you need anything, as always, you know where to find us and we're happy to help. Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in and we will see you later. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Hey, my mom wanted me to let you know you looked lovely on the last podcast.
Thank you. Sean's family is one
Thank
of
goodness
our
it's Edgar.
is one of our biggest supporters. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, take care. Bye.